Okay, so for negative exponents, we're going to start simple. So we'll have x to the negative 4. So when you have a negative exponent, all that means is that it does not belong in that part of the fraction. For example, let's turn this into a fraction. So over 1. If this has a negative exponent like it does now, negative 4, all that means is, hey, x to the 4th really should be downstairs. I always tell my students that's a ticket to move. If it's upstairs, it's a ticket to move downstairs. If it's downstairs, it's a ticket to move upstairs on the fraction, up or down. So this is a ticket to move downstairs. So I'm going to have x to the 4th. I can't leave it blank on top, so I write 1. And that's it. Let's do it the other way. So what if I started with 1 over x to the negative 2nd? So that's a ticket to move upstairs. So then it's just going to be x squared, and I could write over 1, but there's no need to. So that's what a negative exponent does. It just tells you, hey, it's in the wrong location of the exponent. So let's try some multiplying and dividing with that. In your answers, your exponents can never be negative. So if in the end of your answer you get a negative exponent, all you do is move it to the other part of the fraction, and that's it. So if we have, let's multiply first. That's a y, sorry. Squared. Let's put some numbers in there. Times 5 x to the negative 3rd and y to the negative 5th. Okay, so here we're going to have that's okay. Okay, so 3 times 5 is going to give us 15. And remember, when we're multiplying the same variable, think really fast, what do you do with the exponents? Do you add them or do you subtract them? You add them. And multiplication in math will always, so really adding like 3 plus 3 plus 3 is the same thing as 3 times 3. So adding and multiplication always go together. Multiplying is technically just a shortcut for adding the same thing multiple times. Same thing with dividing, but dividing, it's like subtracting the same thing multiple times. So addition always goes with multiplication, and division always goes with subtraction. So if we have x to the negative 4th and x to the negative 3rd, we're going to add those exponents. So negative 4 plus negative 3 is negative 7. And then y to the 2nd and y to the negative 5th. So 2 plus negative 5 is negative 3. And now I'm done. I have nothing else to simplify, but my answers have negative exponents. So I have to move them in their location. Right now, I can write it over an invisible 1 and just put those now downstairs because they both have a ticket to move locations. The 15 is just going to stay up top though, because it doesn't have any negative exponents. So x to the 7th and y to the 3rd. And that's our answer. Okay, let's do a division one with negative exponents and then we should be good. I wanted to wait to do negative exponents because if you can understand just multiplying and dividing, it makes negative exponents really easy. Sometimes we get scared of negative exponents when really they're not scary. It's just one more thing to add to the pile. So let's try 32 x to the, actually, sorry, we're going to do something different. Let's do 12 x to the 8th, y to the negative 4th, and z to the 2nd. Okay, let's do 27 x to the negative 1st, y, and z to the negative 5th. Okay. Okay, so first let's start with our big numbers out front. So 12 and 27, we have to think of a number that can go into both of those. So 12 and 27. So 3 can go into both of those. So 12, 3 goes into 12 4 times. 3 goes into 27 9 times. So I'm going to go over here and write 4 and 9. Okay, x. Okay, so this is where the negative, sometimes we get tricked by this. So 8 and negative 1, so we have to think still which one's bigger. What number would be bigger? Would it be 8 or would it be negative 1? So 8 is bigger. So then 8, and we're subtracting since it's division. So 8 minus negative 1, and sometimes we have to write it out so that we can see it. 8 minus negative 1. So minus negative, that makes plus. So 8 plus 1, we'd have 9. So x to the 9th. Now we have to decide, is it going to go on top or is it going to go on bottom? So x to the 9th will go on top because 8 is there and 8 was the bigger exponent. So it has to go on top. Okay, negative 4 and 1. This is an invisible 1. So what's bigger, negative 4 or 1? And 1 is bigger because on the number line, negative 4 would be over there and 1 would be over here. So basically it's saying on a number line, which one would be furthest to the right? Well, 1 would be. So then we're going to do 1 minus negative 4. So 1 minus negative 4, that's going to give us plus. I'm going to make this negative, sorry, I'm changing that one because it'll make it easier. Okay, back to this, sorry. 1 plus 4 is 5. So we're going to have y to the 5th. Y to the 5th is going to be on bottom because that's where the bigger exponent was. Okay, I changed the z's just because this will help explain hopefully a question that you might have. So now we have negative 2 and negative 5. So on a number line, we'd have 0, negative 2, and negative 5. So negative 2 is furthest to the right. So then this is our bigger exponent. Oh yeah, I used to make my students circle which one was bigger so that they knew where it went. So the x's go up top, y's go on bottom, and z's are going to be up top. So that might be something to good to do from the very beginning. Should have taught you that, sorry. Okay, so negative 2 is bigger. So I'm going to do negative 2 minus, because it's always subtracting with division, negative 5. So minus a negative is plus. So negative 2 plus 5 is 3. So we're going to have z to the 3rd up top. And that's it. That's everything.